Let's begin seated at the top of the mat. A couple of deep breaths. Inhale to lift your arms up above your head. When you breathe out, roll onto your hands and knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back into a down dog. From down dog, drop your elbows down and then push them back up. Elbows, down dog. Coming in and out of dolphin to down dog, working the triceps, the shoulders, strengthening through the back, and strengthening your core. Again, tap and lift, tap and down dog. You're going to roll forward to a high plank, and then again push into a down dog. Plank and push. Plank and push. Plank and push. Again, rounding the shoulders, strengthening the core. A couple of repetitions here to build up a little bit of flexibility in the hamstrings and the strengthening through your core. Turn back to that plank, bend your elbows and push up. We're doing about 8 chaturanga push-ups, keeping the elbows tucked in toward the body, nice and tight against the obliques. You don't want your elbows to splay outward, but we're staying nice and tight, internally rotated. Push back into a down dog, nice stretch. Drop your elbows down to the mat, cradle your head, supporting your neck directly over the shoulders. Lift up your legs toward the ceiling if you can in your headstand. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Lower halfway in pike and hold here for 3, 2, 1. Lower the toes even further down to the mat. You want to hold and hover here for 3, 2, 1. Return back to that pike before we vinyasa by shooting your legs back, dropping the belly down, breathing in to lift the heart, stretch the spine, and exhale into the down dog, stretching the hamstrings. And let's repeat. Deep breath in, exhale, elbows down. A couple times here, in and out of dolphin, and down dog. You can go as fast or as slow as you need it. And then when you're ready, from your down dog, you're going to roll forward into a high plank, and then push back down dog. In and out from plank to down dog, being mindful of your spine, staying nice and long. Trying not to sway the low back, but keep your core engaged. When you're ready, you're going to hold your plank. And then bend your elbows, lower down chaturanga. We're doing about 8 of these, back and forth. Keep the elbows tucked in. Keep your back from swaying down. Nice and strong chaturangas here. Drop down your elbows, cradle your head. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over your neck. Now lift your legs up into that headstand, keeping your legs nice and high. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Before you lower down halfway, we call this pike. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to work toward dropping your toes only about an inch off the mat. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Back to the pike. to push back in through your vinyasa. Inhaling to stretch the spine, lift the heart. Exhaling to stretch your legs, pushing down dog. Here's our last round. In and out of dolphin. Drop the elbows and push back into your down dog. Again, going as fast or as slow as you want. I'm doing about 8 reps of each practice between the dolphins, the planks, and the chaturanga push-ups. But if you need to go a little slower on this last round, that's totally fine too. When you're ready, you're going to roll into a high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. In and out and in and out, in, out. Then we're going to hold our plank when you feel ready to, before you have your last set of chaturanga push-ups. Again, you can go slower. You're more than welcome to drop down to your knees if that feels better for your back and your core, but you're being very mindful to keep the belly tucked in, staying nice and strong here. Good. We're coming into our last little headstand practice. From the down dog, drop your elbows down, cradle your head, neck and shoulders are stacked, core is strong, legs begin to lift up all the way nice and high. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Holding your pike here for about 3, 2, 1. See if you can hover your toes about a few inches off the mat here, holding 3, 2, 1. Lift back into that pike, strong belly and core. And you're going to step back into your vinyasa, lifting the heart, and then pushing back. When you're ready, you're going to find your way to lay down on the mat. Give yourself a nice stretch here, a nice strong opening. For lowering down your hands beside your hips, lift your shoulders, reach your arms towards your toes, lift the legs, and we're doing hip adductions. So you're reaching out your legs to the sides of your mat, and then you're going to kick your legs up in scissor kicks toward the ceiling. We reach outward a couple of times here, opening up the hips. And then we do some scissor kicks, keeping the hips adducted. And let's do one more round of that. Legs out, little tiny taps here. And then some nice strong scissor kicks, one leg at a time. Awesome, looks good. Shoulders down, legs up, spine flat. Reach your arms towards your hips. Again, lift your shoulders up, strong core. Let's do a couple of leg lifts here. Now you're welcome to go slower than me. You're welcome to go faster, but you don't want your low back lifting off the mat. You're using your strong belly to stay squeezed in and synced down to the mat, nice and low. Let's do a little bit of bicycle twist as you squeeze in one knee at a time. Tap, 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 tap. And again, you can go faster or slower. We're doing this 3 times as you return back to your leg lifts. Try to keep the shoulders up. Try to keep looking towards your knees. Now, if this hurts your neck, you can always take your hands back behind your head, or you can drop your shoulders all the way down to the mat if that's better. Let's return into those bicycles as you tap, 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 side to side, trying to keep the shoulders up, core engaged. Last round here. Couple of leg lifts. Breathe fully. Keep your belly engaged. Keep your core strong. Lower back grounded. And the last time here, tap, 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 tap. Strong little bicycle kicks. Good, shoulders down, legs up. And you can bend in the knees and drop the feet flat onto the mat. Little bit of a rest. Tuck your knees in towards your chest, lift your legs up toward the ceiling and rock up onto your shoulder blades, catching your small back. Tuck in the knees and kick your legs out long toward the front of the mat. Rock up, tuck in, and kick out. Rock up, tuck in, kick out. Rock up, tuck in, kick out. Doing a couple of these shoulder stand leg lifts. Of course, if this is not good for your back, you don't have to rock the hips all the way up. It's just if you want to. And from here, let's get a nice stretch in the spine as you begin to take your toes back behind you. Opening up the spine and the hamstrings here. Halasana. Or rocking your body all the way down, back onto the mat, flattening the spine fully. Tuck in your knees once again. Lift up to a Navasana, your boat posture. Cross your ankles, take your hands back behind you and push into a down dog. When you're ready, we're coming to a high plank and tapping your knees to your elbows, one at a time. Now you can go fast if you want a little bit more cardio, or you can go a little bit slower to work your strength. Drop your forearms down to the mat as you come into a side plank, and you're going to lift your hips up and down, up and down. A couple of these dips here. Then when you're ready, you're going to switch to the other side. You're going to lift those hips up and down. All the while you're keeping your core strong. You're elongating through the spine and through the obliques. And when you're ready, push back to a high plank. And again, tap your knees to your elbows. Tap, tap, tap. Push back to a down dog. Roll to a high plank. Bend your elbows, tap a knee to elbow. Bend your elbows, tap a knee to elbow. We call these Spider-Man push-ups. And when you're ready, I'm going to start this little routine over again. Coming into a high plank. Arms stay straight as you tap your knees to elbows. So you're staying in a plank. You're just doing little runs toward the elbows. Drop down your forearms. Stack your hips to one side as you come into a side plank, lifting and lowering the hips. Again, you're always welcome to go faster than me or slower than me, but you do want to most importantly keep the integrity of your spine. The core is staying engaged the entire time to protect your back. You can lift and lower those hips, or you can just hold your side plank if that feels better for you. Coming back into a high plank, bend your elbows. Maybe you want to try Ekapada Kundanyasana. It's an arm balance, or you can just bend the elbows and tap your knee to elbow. It's up to you. You're either going to do that a couple of times or try to hold your arm balance. Now the last thing we're going to do here is roll into your high plank. Couple of deep breaths before you drop your knees, cross your ankles, extend your legs out long toward the front of the mat, reach your arms forward, lean back slightly, and we're going to bump up the legs and lean back as we come from Navasana to canoe, a high boat to a low boat, back and forth, a couple of lifts up and down here. Hold your high boat before crossing your ankles, hands to heart, deep breaths to release and relax.